Chip.
Dale, you look different.
It's no secret I had the CGI surgery. What's been up with you?
You know, this, that, other vague things to fill the space of this conversation.
Cool.
Chip and Dale Vacuumangels. Show! Chip and Dale are known to be quite popular. So especially, there was a movie in 2022 that featured Chip and Dale. But however, not only was it a reboot of the Vacuumangels series, instead of the classic cartoons, but however, it was also a meta crossover with a bunch of cartoon characters. Now I want to say that I have never seen any episode of Chip and Dale Vacuumangels. So I know that there were many people who watch this show, but however, at best I have only seen the classic cartoons that feature Chip and Dale. But however, when the movie was released on May 20th of 2022 on Disney Plus, it received mostly positive reviews from critics and was really successful on Disney Plus. And at the 74th Primetime Emmy Awards, it even won the award for Outstanding Television Movie. Now, as for my expectations for this movie, now even though I loved Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I am still really nervous for this movie, since there were many movies that tried so hard to be my meta, but ended up being really bad. But however, maybe there's a chance that this movie could not only be decent, but also really good. So now that I'm gonna watch Chip and Dale starring in a Roger Rabbit style movie, will this movie be good enough to be on par with Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Or will the meta-tone in this movie make it feel like the Disney equivalent of Alvin and the Chipmunks? Well, let's find out. And also spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this movie. So now let's talk about the story. And when it comes to the story itself, it is exactly what you expect from a Roger Rabbit style movie. It's about Chip and Dale where Chip works at some business while Dale is now 3D. But however, suddenly, Monty and other cartoon characters have been kidnapped by Sweet Pete, so he can bootleg them. So it's up to Chip and Dale to reunite and save the kidnapped Monty from being bootlegged.
We can see what we can find out and then pass it along to the officer, but that's all we're gonna do.
So now I want to say that the biggest fun with the story is that I feel like that the writing can make the film predictable, and the pacing is also really messy, where there were some scenes that it will go way too fast or way too slow. And not to mention that the comedy is mostly can sometimes be a mixed bag, where even though there were some moments that did make me laugh, there were also some moments, there were also some jokes that are mostly just mediocre. And not to mention that there were some things about the writing that can feel confusing, like how Chip and Dale met in 1982. But however, Chip and Dale existed all the way back to the 1940s. But however, the statement that everything about the writing is horrible, well, actually not really. Since there were at least some things about the writing that can at least be considered enjoyable. But however, even though the story isn't the worst, the story in this movie is mostly just weak. So now let's talk about the visuals. And when it comes to the visuals, even though the writing may be weak, that doesn't mean that the visuals in this movie are bad. In fact, the visuals are actually quite great. So the first out of it, I like how each cartoon character has their own different style, where some are 2D, some 3D, and others are even stop motion. And also I like how the bootleg characters look, where they look like a hybrid of other cartoon characters. And also I like how it portrays the motion capture place where everything looks real, but it is really obvious that something is really wrong.
This place looks weird.
Remember that animation style where everything looked real but nothing looked right?
And also the way that the cartoon characters interact with the village people actually look really good, and the special effects are also well made, and the action scenes at least make the film engaging to watch. But however, if I have to give one nitpick about the visuals, is the design of Chip. Now, I'm not saying that the design of Chip is bad. In fact, I think that Chip actually looks good. But however, the problem is that he's cel-shaded instead of 2D. So I know that it would have been a lot harder for a 2D character to interact with a CGI character. But however, the point of this movie is that Chip is 2D and Dale is 3D. But however, despite it, the visuals in this movie actually look quite great, and can make the film look like a modern version of Hoof and Roger Rabbit. So now let's talk about the characters. And when it comes to the characters, they are mostly mediocre. Sure, while they aren't hateable, they aren't amazing either. So now let's start off with the duo Chip and Dale. Let's start off with Chip. Who's finished with Dale because he felt like he needed a friend as a kid.
Life is the worst, which is why you need good insurance.
And there is also Dale who had a CGI surgery and wants Avengers to have a reboot.
Just want to remind you guys I'll be at FanCon this afternoon. Hey, watch out!
And there is also Ellie who's a fan of the Avengers show. And there is also Manti who's the kidnapped one and has been bootlegged.
My love of cheese got the best of me. I just love it so much.
And there is also Gadget and Sheep who have kids and are part of the Avengers show. And there is also Captain Patty, who's this claymation character voiced by J.K. Simmons. The spoiler alert turns out to be evil, and there is also this Muppet that sells cheese, and there is also there is this motion capture character whose joke is that he lives like a Seth Rogen and has lifeless eyes. And there is also this bear, and there is also this polar bear who is like the henchman Sweet Pete. And also, since this is a White Rabbit movie, it's gonna be a surprise that it has a bunch of cameos. And I will give credit that the cameos in this movie are actually quite enjoyable. Sure, it may seem like they are mostly there just for the movie to be meta, but they actually turn out to be really fun. And there are even some cameos that even have a purpose, like Ugly Sonic, who wants to have a show with the FBI, and Tigra, who is mostly just in FanCon. And there is also the villain of the movie, Sweet Pete, who was originally Peter Pan, but however, because she got older, he sadly got fired. So he decided to make his own bootleg movies and kidnapped other cartoon characters in order to bootleg them. So at first he may seem like the generic antagonist, but however, because of his performance, he's actually not that bad of a villain.
You two come poking around where you don't belong, and I can't have that.
And I will say that the voice acting in this movie, for the most part, is actually quite really good and enjoyable. But however, even though the characters aren't bad, and the cameos are actually pretty fun, They're mostly just mediocre. So, despite the movie receiving mostly positive reviews, I was a little nervous for this movie since I wasn't that big of a fan of meta jokes. But however, after watching the film myself, even though it isn't great, it is still mostly okay. Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers is an okay movie with a bunch of cartoon characters you might recognize. Sure, while it has some problems, they keep it away from being on par with Who They Like You Rabbit, like the weak fighting that delivered the not so great story, along with mediocre characters and some passion that can be really messy. But however, on the other hand, it still has some things that prevent it from being full on bad, like the great visuals, solid voice acting, enjoyable music, and not to mention all the fun cameos and references. As for my recommendation, I will recommend this movie to at least people who want to see Who They Like You Rabbit, but way more meta. But however, I will say that if you're not that big of a fan of meta jokes in movies, then I don't think you should set your expectations that high, and that's why I'm saying that this movie was okay and gets a 6 out of 10. Sure, even though it may not be on par with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it is still mostly okay, and is at least better than other movies with meta jokes.